Okay, this is the coconut. This is how I got it at the grocery store. And there's 3 little holes right here. You have to poke I do it with a screwdriver and a hammer. And then you just get all the juice out, and then you have to take this outside and bang it on concrete, not on stone because you'll break your stone, and get all the shell off of it. And then you have to peel it. We've already peeled it all, but I'll show you what it looks like. It's been peeled and washed, and you don't run it under water, you just wash it. So this is a piece that has been peeled and washed with a damp napkin. So if you run them under water, it will take the flavor. And I'm going to put these pieces in my food processor and chop them up, and they're going to look like this right here when you chop them up. This is how fine I do it. You don't have to do it this fine, but you do it however you like. But I like for mine to be pretty fine. And then I'll show you how I put the cake together. So that's the coconut. I'll just show you how I do it. My food processor's broke. I guess turnabout's fair play. My daughter broke mine. I broke my mom's. So I'm working with a half jacked up food processor because she broke it. And but it still works. But I have to rig it to make it work. So I have to use a knife to get it to come on because it won't. So you just keep grinding it till it gets to the consistency you want. This is not quite fine enough, so I'm gonna grind it just a little bit more. So that's perfect for my cake. Then I'll show you how I make the icing and how I put it together. Okay, I'm going to do my 7-minute frosting now. This is what you put on the cake outside, and then you put I'll show you how I ice it, but this is the 7-minute frosting. And what I have in here is 5 eggs, a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar, a cup and 2/3 of sugar, and I'm a salt girl. If anything sweet, I always put a little bit of salt. So I put about probably 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt in here because it brings the flavor out if you put salt. So I'm gonna show you so what we have here, this is a double broiler pot, and this is what you do it on. So this pot is gonna go on top of this pot with a little bit of water in here. But the water doesn't need to be touching this right here, so you don't fill it up. I just have a little bit of water in the bottom. And I'm going to mix this up, and then I'm going to turn the burner on. So I'm going to mix this and get the egg. These are egg whites. So 5 egg whites, sugar, cream of tartar, and a little bit of salt. And at the end, when it's done, I'll put my vanilla flavoring in. And I put it in my big stand mixer, so I'll show you how I do that. But this right here is going to cook for 7 minutes. So you just are going to cook the egg whites, and they're going to get nice and fluffy. And I always make sure I have all the sugar off the bottom of the pot, because you don't want this sugar stuck in here. And so I'm going to make sure it's all mixed up good and the sugar's off the bottom of the pot before I turn my burner on and start my 7-minute cooking process here. So you're going to cook it, if you have a candy thermometer, you're just going to cook it to 160 degrees. So I'm going to just keep on doing this till I make sure I've got it all mixed up, and then I'll turn on my stove. Gas is so much faster than electricity. It doesn't take no time, and I don't want to overcook it because that makes it, I don't know, it makes it hard and grainy, and I don't want it hard and grainy. I just want it a perfect little fluff here, so. All right, I think I can turn my burner on now. That's all mixed up good. So I'm gonna turn the burner on. We'll get my thermometer out so I can make sure that it's the right temperature. Oh. This is my little thermometer I use for everything. Meats. If you don't have one, you need to get you one because it is perfect for the kitchen. But I'm gonna cook it till it gets to 160. Now I'm not gonna boil this water. I'm just turning it on like a medium low. I'll set my timer to 7 minutes. And it should be perfect by then. And I'll bring y'all back when it's done and show you what it looks like. I'm just gonna sit here and do this right here for 7 minutes until this concoction in here comes up to 160. Okay, I've got it all fluffy and ready to put in my mixing bowl and mix it. I'll add the vanilla flavoring and I'm gonna mix it for, I don't know, about 5 or 7 minutes, but see how stiff it is. And then I'm gonna put it in the mixing bowl and then I'll show y'all what it looks like when it's done and how I ice the cake with it. So your bowl needs to be clean and dry. And I also, when I took this this pan off of here, I dried the bottom of it because you don't want any of that water to get in your bowl. That will mess the consistency of your icing up. So this bowl's good and clean and dry, and I'm gonna put it in here and then blend it in my stand mixer for just a little while. Okay, I've got it in here and it's ready to be blended up. And I'm gonna put my vanilla flavoring. I'm just gonna dump a little vanilla flavoring. Okay. Now you need to use this attachment, not this one. Not the paddle, but the whisk attachment. That's what's gonna make it fluffy. Just let it go like this for a little while, maybe 5 minutes, and then we're gonna be ready to ice the cake. Okay, see how thick and creamy this is? See, it's perfect for the cake icing.